Hey, I have some serious news for you, and I need you to listen all the way to the end for an important call to action on September 13th. That's this coming Monday, so please clear your calendar now because this is a community call to action alert. First, some backstory. Hi, I'm Megan, and I'm with Tampa Bay Activist Network. On our channel, we share pertinent local news for action-minded folks like you, and we often include calls to action. But more than any call to action I've ever put out, community, this is where I need you the most, especially those of you with the most privilege, but all of you. So our community member, a young Black woman, only 22 years old, Jamie Bullock, is facing a serious conviction that could land her up to 5 years in prison. These are from charges stemming from the uprising in Tampa and countrywide last year. As we were out calling for our lives in the streets of Tampa, demanding justice for George Floyd and defund the police, several protesters were arrested on July 4th, on Independence Day, a day supposedly rooted in independence and celebrating the resistances of the framers of this country. Of all days, if we as a community stand by in silence as Jamie Bullock faces a potential 5 years in prison, then what was that protesting truly about? What was it for? On July 4th, 2020, several community members gathered to spread the message of Black liberation on Dale Mabry Highway. It wasn't the first gathering that would wound up blocking the roadways in Tampa, and it wouldn't be the last. In fact, only a few weeks before, on June 21st, one Black protester was struck by a red truck, and on June 28th, an Indigenous protester was struck by a car. In both cases, their assailants, drivers who rammed into pedestrians, got off without any charges. But yet on July 4th, Independence Day, several protesters got faced with a brutal arrest by Tampa Police Department. Police threw pepper spray onto protesters, none of which had done anything violent, and several officers pounced on top of detained protesters, enacting violent arrests. As you can see in the videos, people are pushed to the ground for gathering around the police and doing nothing more than bearing witness and shouting. As police officers are rounding up folks for arrest, you can see them aggressively pushing away anyone who is seen filming or videoing the incidents. Young protesters are literally being slammed into the ground, and for what? The minor inconvenience some drivers had to face on Dale Mabry Highway for a matter of minutes? For standing up for Black liberation in a way that isn't comfortable or digestible or convenient? Jamie is accused of assaulting that law enforcement officer while also simultaneously resisting arrest without violence. If convicted in October, she could face up to 5 years in prison. And to make matters worse, on September 13th, the state attorney's office is entering what is known as a motion to limine. This is why we need you all to pack the courtroom, to bear witness to this moment in solidarity. So the motion to limine, what does this mean? So this means the state attorney wants to prevent Jamie and any other witnesses called from discussing the constitutionality of protests, the right to free speech, eerily placed in quotation marks, and public assemblies, the alleged, no quotation marks there, peaceful nature of the protest. But there's several items that they're trying to suppress that are particularly intriguing. Law enforcement conduct, generally in response to various protests locally and elsewhere, alleged acts of Leo officers and their treatment of protesters, and any allegations about Leo brutalizing anyone, including interactions with others outside of this interaction. And alarmingly, the prosecution says they'd like to prohibit any discussion of the fact that Jamie Bullock has no prior criminal history. So to put in simpler terms, the state attorney wants the judge to prevent any jurors from hearing any information about free speech, the right to assemble, and protest in general, while also throwing out any facts or opinions about TPD's past and present conduct, and any facts about their interactions with the public. All of these items would be crucial to telling the full story to a jury, Without this vital information, it paints Jamie Bullock in a very different light. It turns her from a Black woman championing for justice for her people and all underdogs of society into some defiant, violent criminal. We cannot be bystanders for this. We need you, we need your friends and your family to take action on September 13th, this Monday, and take action by sharing this video everywhere. On September 13th at 12:30 p.m., arrive at the Hillsborough County 13th Judicial Circuit Court. Please wear a mask. We're asking the community to remember that we are here for solidarity and support. This is not a protest, and we're going to bear witness to the judge's ruling together as a community and peacefully. It's our right to watch our court cases in action. The court is a public matter. We need all eyes on the judge and the state attorney's office to make sure that they don't get away with suppressing the truth and denying our community member a right to a fair trial before a jury. Please follow Black in Tampa on Instagram for more, and we'll see you on the 13th.